So here's the rosewood one that I was just talking about. The keys are made out of clock spring steel, but everything else on here, other than the one little nickel silver fret there, which is done to create a firm line for this keys to balance on. Everything else in this instrument is all rosewood. Here's the tone of it. It's got a lot of sustain. So that's the rosewood one. Now here's one that just came out of the shop yesterday, and it's got an interesting wood pattern on the back. You see that? That's a piece of spalted maple or some kind of pattern, a really interesting pattern of maple with a little bit of rosewood, but the end block is rosewood. The top is a combination of really fine koa wood, which is another nice musical instrument from Hawaii, and rosewood, and then the rosewood mounts. And it's got a beautiful sound too. Notice it's really wide, much wider than, just to put them together. It's not a whole lot wider, but it is wider than the other one behind. The two of them together, it's wider. You see, and that allows for more keys. I hadn't tuned this one yet. I got two notes that are tuned the same, so I'm gonna have to fine tune it a little bit and get it tuned up right. So that like I said, just came out of the shop today. This was one that came out a couple days ago, and it's got some. This is myrtle wood here, really fine figured myrtle wood and rosewood block on the end. This back is a piece of bird's eye maple, and I was so sad because I put this piece on there, and it's been sitting in my shop for years, and I thought, oh man, what a beautiful piece. Well, as soon as I put it on, I left it in the window to dry, and the first coat, and it cracked really bad. But it's solid now. I glued it together, but I'll never be able to really hide that crack. But this beautiful piece of bird's eye maple, just lovely, great tone. Great tone, a beautiful instrument. I love this myrtle wood on top. So another one that came out of my shop just this last few days is this one. The back is maple and walnut, the black walnut, and the side is mahogany. This one is truly a hodgepodge of woods that I've been finding in my shop. It's mahogany sides, but it's got this incredible piece of koa wood here on the back that I got from my friend Ron, and it's just gorgeous. The grain turns over completely. It's running this way, and then it runs this way. It completely turned around in it. It was a very unique piece of wood. And then the top is koa wood too. I don't know if you can see how beautiful it is, but it's got this iridescence to it. You can kind of see it in there. It's like almost like one of those morph butterflies. It's just a gorgeous piece of coal wood, and has the rosewood, excuse me, and rosewood. So for tone wise, I went with rosewood in the places where it really counts, and it has a gorgeous tone. Really beautiful sustain to it. So that's those are the new ones that have just come out, and there's a few more. I can't show you them all. I want to show you this one though. This is one that 20 years ago, with my son Amos and I, when he was still living at home, I wanted one of my kids to learn how to play, or not play, but only play, but to make the calimbas, because it's something that I wanted to pass on to them. Well, this is one that we made together, and it's really beautiful. It's maple, and that's called Padauk, that reddish colored wood, and then ebony, and rosewood top, and maple sides, and has a great tone. It's one of the nicest ones I've ever built. Amos got to take home his pick of the litter of the ones we made, and the one that he took home is just a lovely one. It's always thought of it as the nicest one we ever built. I ever built, had any hand in, and yet everyone's different, and they're all gorgeous. Here's one that's got a couple different kinds of wood on the top. It's got Indian rosewood, and then a darker rosewood, and I'm not sure which wood it is, if it's Indian or Honduras, or maybe even a piece of Brazilian in there, and maple, and rosewood back. It's really a lovely instrument. And I don't know if you can hear it. It has this nice low note that in a lot of instruments it's hard to get the low note to ring true. It rings more with overtones, but this one it does. And also, if you notice, this one's tuned to kind of a minor tuning. Well, the interesting thing is that I tuned this one to the wind chimes that are outside our window of in the back deck, and I used the notes from the wind chime to tune this, and all of the notes on here are also notes on the wind chime. So when you're sitting outside, you can sit out and you can actually jam with the wind chimes. And I decided to put one over there in the cottage for people to be able to do that. So I tuned it to the wind chime on the front porch of the cottage, and invited people to jam with the wind, make their own wind song. Here's another one. This one's got some, the back is cherry wood and maple. Top is rosewood, maple all the way around the sides. You notice those last two, that they are sort of a different mode. The mode of the most of them are tuned to a pentatonic scales. These other ones are more like minor modes. I don't know, there's names like Mixolydian and Dorian and stuff like that. And I know that I could probably go back and research it, but I think I'll let people do that on their own. When they learn how to play these, they like to tune them to what they like to play with. So here's one that's similar materials to that last one I just played. Indian rosewood top, but the rest of it is mahogany and, I mean, not mahogany, but maple and cherry on the back, cherry and maple. So it's actually not as I want to say not as metallic of a sound in this one, and I'm not sure if that's the right word, but if you know how to play, know the difference between a marimba and a vibraphone, the metallic keys of the vibraphone has more metallic sound. Everything is the same, but the wood somehow in this one doesn't. It's just a mellower sound, and actually I like it. So I know this is a long video, but I want to go through and play these and let you know that these are different ones. Here's one that's got a really lovely back. Some of the ones I went ahead and did quite an extensive time spent in putting a finish on them. Other ones like this one here is just an oil rubbed finish. This one's a varnish, and the varnish takes probably 6 times as long to put a finish on. And when I say 6 times as long, you put a coat on a day. And with these, you might take 3 or 4 days, might. But with these, it could take 10 days, you know, because it has to dry a day between every coat, and then you sand it down and dry it, sand it down, dry it, sand it down. And it just takes forever to build up a good finish on it. But that being said, just an amazing instrument. So maybe the finish on it does result in better tone. I really can't tell you the answer to that one. Here's one that's got an Indian rosewood back and top, maple sides, and mahogany, Honduras mahogany head block. A little bit more on like the one that I played a minute ago. It had the nice kind of earthy sound, a little more earthy in this one. I've had people coming over to buy them that really strongly prefer the earthy tones, and others like the more ethereal metallic tones. Here's one that's got, it's a friend of mine gave me some Purple Heart, and that's what this wood right here is. This, both the dark wood is Purple Heart. This is more weathered. This is more from the inside of it, and that's maple. It's contrasting it. It's really beautiful. The sides are rosewood. The end is rosewood, but this block appears maple. The top is rosewood and maple, and it's a lovely instrument. Very bright tone. Great sustain, really nice metallic ringing sound like a vibraphone. And those of you who know guitars, like Martin makes, like D18s and D28s and D35s and so on, and some of them are, and then they make these double aught instruments and stuff, and some of them are made out of mahogany and some of them are made out of rosewood, and there is definitely a different sound for the different instruments. And same thing with these instruments. Here's one that's got the Padauk, and quite frankly, I don't know what this wood is. I want to say it's mahogany, but if it is, it's a really light one. It's got a grain structure like mahogany, but I found it in my wood stash from 40 years ago, and I can't remember what it is. So it is what it is. And then here's around it's got maple, and then this padauk, and again that same wood that's on the back, and it just, I really like the sound of it. And I found a new sound hole pattern that I put on there, and it's just a lovely instrument. I'm going to have a hard time letting go of that one. So the last one I'm going to show you tonight is the original, one of the original two that we made. This one was like number one for Willie and I, and then I made one, and he put the sound hole and the mounts on it. We cut the wood out together. We did all of the exploration and doing it, and it was really an experiment, because before that, the only ones I'd ever made were out of plywood. The ones I originally made were out of plywood. And you can hear it's got a very mellow tone. But it's a sweet, nice, mellow sound. It's mellower because it doesn't have the metal fret. It does actually have a metal fret on the top. I fixed that and changed that. I think it's just mellower mostly because of the difference of the sound bars. The maple with the actual bark on the maple doesn't push down and make the same sustain as a rosewood sound bar, the rosewood ones on these. But there's other reasons too, and it's not to mention the fact that it's 40 years old. It just has a nice mellow sound. All solid core wood box. I could talk forever on this, but anyway, the point is that this infomercial, and the last one that I made, is all about trying to get people to understand that yes, you can go online and you can buy kalimbas for as low as $30 coming out of China, and they sound great. In fact, they all sound pretty much the same because of the way they're put together. As a matter of fact, they not only sell the instruments done, but you can buy kits and you can put it together yourself. And the kits probably, 25 bucks, 20 bucks or something. You can buy one. And if you are wanting to do so, I think it's a wonderful thing to do. But I want to tell you that there is a difference between instruments that are made out of beautiful hardwoods with the rosewood bars. The sounds are really unique in these, and not so much in the ones that you buy commercially. They do make different kinds. Some are made out of gourd. Some are made out of tuna fish cans. And as far as what sounds good is what sounds good to you, not what sounds good to me. What sounds good to you is what you want, because it's all going to sound different. How you play it, like some people tune them and they play them they tune them like diatonically and play them like a regular piano, and play Mozart or something on them. And if you go online, I suggest you go online and you go to YouTube and you type in MBIRA, Mbira, which will get you the African name for the kalimba thumb piano, and you'll get some great examples of African thumb pianos being played. But then if you type in kalimba, you're going to get some people from different parts of the world, Asia, United States, Europe, and you're going to hear them playing Western music on them. And so you can tune them that way if you want to. I tune them more to modes and tune them so that it's more about the sounds of the rhythm playing over and over again. I'll give you an example of what I mean. And that's what I'm more interested in. And then You can play them with your fingers. Go up and down on your leg. Get a nice sound that way. And that way you can so have fun, and hopefully someday you'll get to play one of my kalimbas or play another one that somebody else made and see how much fun they are. Thank you.